standing for Houston. KHOU 11 News this morning starts now.
You saw it during breaking news at 10 o'clock.
A person shot dead outside a grocery store. Overnight, we've been getting answers about how it all happened.
New video from overnight. A show of force in Dallas. Police raid an Occupy encampment.
A Houston sports legend, former Oiler quarterback Dan Pastorini, is here to talk with us live about his new tell-all book.
That's the play. That's the play.
That was a touchdown.
Brought in
instant replay.
Instant replay. Yeah.
That was a touchdown.
Oh, he's in bounds.
Come on, the AFC Championship game. We will be talking about that and many other things with Dan Pastorini. Can't wait.
That's coming up. Good morning to you. I'm Christine Haas. Glad you're tuning in.
And I'm Ron Trevino. It is 5:59, just a few seconds shy of 6 a.m. And you know what? A cooler morning.
It is nice and chilly out there.
Look
It
at
feels
this.
good.
Look at this flag. I mean, it's really windy out there.
That's what makes it feel cold, you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's cutting India, so there's a wind chill factor out there. There's the American flag, and the wind is gusting to 25 at times this morning. I circled the winds north-northeast at 15, gusting to 24 during the past few minutes, and it's 56. So, the temperature's not bitter cold, but that wind makes it feel colder. So put a sweater and jacket and scarf on the kiddos. These are temperatures. Heights, good morning, 53. River Oaks is 54. Deer Park, you're 54. Pasadena, it's 51 right now, and Brentwood's at 52. So with that wind out there, yes, sweaters, jackets at a minimum. Okay, we will warm a bit today. Coldest night of the bunch will be tomorrow morning. We'll show you that, and I'll show you some Arctic air, really cold stuff up in Alaska. And we'll speculate on when some of that may get here.
We finally get to wear the sweaters that are in the stores.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I
that's
know.
right.
Wardrobe change.
Yes.
Catherine Willie, what's happening on the roads?
Roadways look pretty good. We had a couple of accidents out there earlier, but now things look much better. So that accident there on 146 cleared. The accident on I-10 is all gone. So let's go ahead and take you out to our 3D HD maps and give you a wide view across the city of Houston. No major slowdowns just yet. So out to our TransStar cameras. Live conditions look good over here on 290 at Tidwell. Eastbound and westbound lanes are moving at posted speeds, but we are seeing traffic starting to pick up just a bit. So a few more cars on the roadway. Of course, we'll bring you drive times and scheduled lane closures coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Catherine. It's now 6:01. Now to the latest on a developing story that we've been following throughout the night.
Investigators say a man was shot and killed in a grocery store parking lot, and this all happened outside the Food Town grocery store on Old Galveston at El Dorado. KHOU 11 News reporter Lee Ferlisi is live at the scene to explain what happened. Lee?
Christine, we do know now that it was a Food Town employee that was shot and killed. He worked in produce. He had just finished his shift, employees say, and had clocked out. He was headed to his car when authorities believe he came on some people who were tampering with his vehicle. When he confronted those people, it turned deadly. Police say that the victim was shot multiple times and he was killed. There were many of his family members on scene last night, absolutely devastated, as you can imagine. Police also say that witnesses saw the suspects take off in a red car. They don't have a lot of information about these suspects, but authorities are hoping that some of the security cameras in this parking lot may have captured what had happened, may give them a better picture of just who may have been involved. Also, this is a 24-hour Food Town, but right now it's closed due to the shooting, and the managers hope that it'll open shortly. We are live in Southeast Houston. Lee Ferlisi, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Lee. This morning, the sentencing phase resumes for the man found guilty of tying up and torturing his girlfriend for more than 15 hours. After 3 hours of deliberations, a jury convicted 40-year-old Gregory Longoria of aggravated sexual assault of a family member. Prosecutors argued he burned and mutilated his girlfriend, but in a strange twist, his girlfriend took the stand in Longoria's defense, saying she consented to what he did. He faces up to life in prison.
The principal of North Shore High School will not be on campus today after district officials discovered he is under a criminal investigation. Houston police would not release specifics, but they do say Billy Foster is the subject of an inquiry into possible criminal activity. Investigators tell us that the alleged incident did not involve students or the school itself. However, the district has placed Foster on administrative leave while an internal review is underway.
We have to take that serious, and if there is a possibility of anything, we're not saying there is, but again, the safety of our students is our first and foremost concern.
This is a very crucial point here. Foster has not been arrested or charged with a crime.
Changes are coming to Houston baseball. Later today, it's expected that Major League Baseball will announce that the Astros sale is approved, but to get the deal done, Soon-to-be owner Jim Crane had to agree to change leagues. KHOU 11 News reporter Alex Sands is live at Minute Maid Park to tell us what the future holds for our Stros. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, Ron, good morning to you. Sources close to these negotiations say that in just a few hours in Milwaukee, when those owners meet, this transaction will be the first order of business, and it could be done possibly as early as the end of today, maybe tomorrow. But a lot of people here are looking forward to it, hoping that what happens next will make this team a winning team here for Houston. So after all these months, the transfer now could be a formality after Houston businessman Jim Crane agreed to move the team to the American League. He was buying the team for some $680 million. It now appears he's getting a $70 million break off of that for moving the team to the AL in just a couple of years in 2013.
For the last 6 years, I've been in the American League, you know, up before I took this job. So the last 2 years I've been in the National League, and I like the National League. It's a different style of game, the one that I think the fans are really going to enjoy.
And speaking of fans, you talk to fans here across Houston, they're split on this. As for the sale itself, it is expected to sail through. That is the latest live here at Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston. Alex Sands, KHOU 11 News.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see about the Astros.
Yeah, it's pending decisions, right?
Changing leagues.
All right.
Well, I'll have to get used to the American League teams.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We've got the Texas Rangers, of course.
But we'll get to see the Yankees and the Red Sox.
But it'll be really good for the state itself because it'll really inspire a lot of interest, don't you think?
I think so, too.
Just so long as we beat them every time.
That'll be
just
kind of neat.
win, baby.
Go
just
against
win.
Nolan Ryan, only he's not on the mound. He's the owner of the Rangers and then the Stros. And hopefully they'll both be good, and it'll be a good rivalry. It is a chilly morning. You need to prepare for this. Now, temperatures are not bitter cold. We're in the 50s. But we've got a north wind out there that every now and then is gusting to 25. So it's windy out there. Heights 53, River Oaks is 53, Alief 55, Cloverleaf here at 52. If you're just coming home from Gillies, it's 51 degrees in Pasadena right now, and that wind is blowing out there, 15 to 25. Woodlands, good morning, 55, north breeze at 3 miles an hour. Katy, west side, 55 of the north wind at 14. This thermometer is in a little more open area, the anemometer, so it gets a little more of that accurate wind. And you can see just beginning to glow dawn out there, and there are some clouds out around this morning. It's a winter-like morning. North wind, 50s, and boy, it's winter up there in the Texas Panhandle. Amarillo's at 21 degrees right now. There's Dallas at 38. They've got a north wind. Look at the Arctic air that's coming across the country. 8 degrees in Bismarck. Minneapolis is 19. Kansas City, 24. That's Arctic stuff. And then the heart of the Arctic air is here, 37 below in Alaska. And you know me, I track this because if we're going to get a cold air outbreak, and I love Arctic outbreaks, I do, this is where they begin. And the longer range models are suggesting that after Thanksgiving, we'll warm up going into Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, specifically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we could get some of this Arctic air down into the Houston area and have temperatures kind of holding in the 40s and 30s, especially on Monday, Tuesday, after Thanksgiving. So we'll look forward to that. We'll keep you posted. That will probably change a little bit. All right, now it's 54. We've got that wind out there, so jackets and sweaters and a scarf, and then a high of 67 today. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon, and the winds will settle down this afternoon and tonight. That allows us, to drop down to 40 for a low, upper 30s, Montgomery County northward tomorrow morning. And then we'll warm back up into the low 80s by Sunday. Rain chances increase going into Tuesday of next week. 6:07. Hey, Catherine.
That's how you know the weather's changing right there. Traffic right now looking good across most of the city. We are watching a couple of trouble spots. Those have actually cleared. 146 and I-10 in particular, no problems there now. We did have a couple of accidents in those two locations, but we're now looking good. Let's take you out to our TransStar cameras and show you what 288 looks like currently. A live look from TransStar of 288 at Orem, so the far south side. Here your inbound lanes are still moving along at posted speeds, but notice they are a bit busier than those outbound lanes, which remain pretty quiet at this hour. Back out to the maps, a couple of closures scheduled for the day ahead today. Over on the north side of town, the exit and entrance ramps northbound and southbound on I-45 at Airline, Cross Timbers, and Tidwell are closed overnight from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. Tonight is the last scheduled night of that closure. We saw that a little bit earlier this week. Keep in mind if you are using I-45, you could get detoured off to another ramp. Around town right now, our drive times are still in the green. Your Sugar Land commute takes just 22 minutes on 59 from Williams Trace to downtown. And there on 288, where we showed you that camera image between the Beltway and downtown, your drive time right now is just 12 minutes. Coming up in a few minutes, Ron and Christine will let you know if we spot any problems out there.
All right, thank you. Today, around 6,000 women are expected to attend the 12th Annual Texas Conference for Women right here in Houston. And the day-long conference includes business and networking events. Our own Lisa Hernandez will kick off things this morning, and Great Day Houston's Deborah Duncan will MC the keynote lunch. It's a great organization. I've done many of those events in Austin as well, and then they moved it here to Houston because there was such a draw.
Cool stuff. All right, the time is now 6:09. The mother of an alleged victim in the Penn State sex abuse scandal is speaking out. Hear from her ahead.
And President Obama continues a worldwide whirlwind tour aimed at creating jobs. Keep it here for much more when we come right back. Thanks for being here.
You're watching KHOU 11 News This Morning with Christine Haas, Ron Trevino, meteorologist David Paul with weather, and Catherine Whaley helping you beat the traffic. KHOU 11 News This Morning.
And we're just updating the marine forecast. Small craft, ADVII, so our advisory. Small craft advisory in effect at least through 9 o'clock this morning. Boaters, check conditions.
And scrolling through the cameras right now, looks like a beautiful morning, and traffic right now looks pretty nice as well. No major slowdowns just yet, but here on I-10 to Katy Freeway at Wilcrest, traffic in the inbound lanes are building.
The mother of one of the alleged victims in the Penn State sex abuse scandal is speaking out publicly for the first time now. She is one of at least 8 parents accusing former assistant Penn State football coach Jerry Sandusky of having inappropriate relations with her underage son. With her voice disguised, she spoke on the phone to CNN's Anderson Cooper. The mother says her son's school questioned the boy after she complained about Sandusky taking him out of class without her permission.
They told me that my son had said some things about that there was a problem with Jerry, and he didn't really admit anything at that point. He just said that he thought he needed to tell somebody or it would get worse.
The school system released a statement saying that due to the investigation, they would say nothing more than the Keystone Central School District has been and will continue to fully cooperate with authorities.
Congress has approved a bill designed to help unemployed veterans find work. Last night, the House approved the measure. The Senate has already passed the measure. The bill creates tax breaks for companies willing to hire veterans and gives more money to vets' job training and counseling programs. Well, President Obama heads from Australia to Indonesia today for more talks on trade. And the White House says his 9-day trip is all about creating jobs. KHOU 11 News reporter Dave Cassidy joins us from Capitol Hill with the latest on that. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Ron. So far, President Obama on this trip is calling America a Pacific nation because in the 21st century so far, really, Asia is where the action is. Since he started his trip last weekend, President Obama has met with members of 21 Asian countries. The 2.5 billion people in those countries now account for more than half of the world's economic activity, including buying 60% of all the goods we ship overseas. The president says those exports support 4 million jobs here, so selling more stuff overseas in Asia would create more jobs. That's why executives from Boeing, Caterpillar, and GE joined the president on this trip. They say with so many European countries having tough times, Asian trade is even more important. The president's in Australia today, where he's already announced a kind of military buildup in agreement with the Australians. We're going to have up to 2,500 Marines involved in training exercises over there. It was at the request of the Australian government, and the president says it's in our interest to protect what Americans are doing in Asia that way. Back to you.
And Dave, what does China say about all this?
They're not happy, Ron. China's spokesman says expanding America's presence in Asia what might not be appropriate and deserves greater scrutiny by the world community. Not sure what that means. China has flexed its military muscles so much in Asia lately that some of the countries there have asked the U.S. to sort of send some signals that we're still going to be around, and it looks like this Australia training exercise is one of those signals, Ron.
All right. Thank you so much. Dave Cassidy, live in Washington.
All right. David Paul is checking our forecast today. Kids need the sweater or the jacket. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you could do both if you wanted to, but probably one or the other. We've got the temperatures in the 50s, but this wind, the wind kind of wants to cut through everything. Take a look at the map. This is cold air that's coming out of Canada. This is actually Arctic air. I mean, look at the temperatures across the nation. It's 8 in Bismarck. It's 24 in Kansas City. They've just gone from fall to full-blown winter in a matter of hours as this has spilled across the Canadian border. There's Houston at 54, but look, Dallas is 38, and they're in the 20s, the low 20s in the Texas Panhandle. And I love this. You know, 38 below up there in central Alaska. I watched the Arctic air up here build. If we're going to get a colder Arctic outbreak here, it begins in Alaska and the Klondike. And the models are hinting that a couple of days after Thanksgiving, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that may be when we actually get an Arctic outbreak here with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Okay, that would be highs during the day. So we'll monitor that. That's a long way off. All right, northeast breeze today. This morning it's gusting to 20. By noon it's settled down to about 10, and then below 10 miles an hour as we go into 5 o'clock this afternoon. Light winds and clear skies tonight, and a little bit of that Arctic air, we're getting a taste of it, will give us a cold night tonight, 40s and 30s tonight. Rough in the bay. This is not a good day to boat. Small craft advisory is in effect officially till 9 o'clock. That may have to be extended. If you're going to go down there, you better check conditions and think twice about it. North wind 20 to 25 knots this morning with the nearshore water 6 to 8 feet. Medium ragweed, medium grass, mold is low. Forecast today. Out the door it is a breezy, chilly morning. 67 this afternoon, sunny, beautiful day today. A spectacular day. Extend recess if you can, teachers. Take a little extra lunch hour. Have lunch outside today if you can. And then 40 tomorrow morning, then rebounding to 71 Friday afternoon. We warm to near 80 or so by Sunday afternoon. And then rain chances pick up going into Tuesday of next week with another front. Catherine Whaley, good morning.
Good morning, and traffic looking good this morning as well around town. No significant slowdowns just yet. Seeing traffic start to build though here on I-45 southbound, just south of the Shepherd Curve as you approach the 610 North Loop. Also on 288, the South Freeway inbound, just north of the Beltway. Traffic there slowed down to about 45 miles an hour. Not affecting your overall travel time too badly, but of course we'll keep an eye on that. Also right now we have slower traffic coming in on I-45, the Gulf Freeway. Let's take a look with our Houston TransStar cameras, give you a live image here at I-45 in Howard. As you can see, the inbound lanes starting to slow down just a bit as you make your way northbound toward the 610 South Loop. The outbound lanes headed out toward Clear Lake City and then on toward Galveston are all clear for the moment. Back out to the maps, a couple of closures for the day ahead today. Over on the west side of town, just west of downtown, I-10 eastbound and westbound frontage road lanes at Taylor are going to be closed from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Alternate lanes today and tomorrow as well. Around town right now, traffic is slowing on 290. From Barker Cypress to Loop 610, your current travel time is 21 minutes. And here on 249, the Tomball Parkway, from Spring Cypress down to the Beltway, your drive time is currently 7 minutes. Ron and Christine coming up in a few minutes. We'll take another look at the cameras and let you know if we spot any trouble spots out there.
All right, thank you so much, Catherine Whaley. It is now 6:20. We've been waiting for this all morning. Houston football legend Dan Pastorini will be live in the studio.
Yeah, he's here. He's here to talk about his new book and memories from life in the fast lane. Stick around for that and much more when we come right back.
And that was a touchdown.
Well, it's your birthday, babe.
It's birthday time, and Colton Pitts kicks it off. 17 years old today. Colton loves fishing, hunting, hiking. Happy birthday, Colton. Happy birthday to Myron Fulton, who's 21 today. Myron enjoys acting and modeling. Good luck, Myron. Happy birthday to Jason Hinoja, who's 8 years old today. Let me guess, baseball. Looks like a good swing there, Jason. And happy birthday to Dominic Jimenez, who is 6 years old today. Happy birthday, Dominic, and everybody else out there who shares a birthday. Send it to birthday@khou.com. All right, forecast coming right up.
But that was a bad call. We scored. We scored on that play. I know we scored.
To Houston Oilers fans, all we need to say is love you blue and images of Dan Pastorini and that play come rushing back.
Yeah, Pastorini is now an author of a new book called Taking Flack. As you see right there, Ron is holding it just perfectly. He joins us now in the studio to talk about football and life in the fast lane. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Christine. How are
Thanks
you?
for joining us.
Yeah, it's early.
It is early. Hey, you try our hours for a while. Hey, before we talk about the book, Life Without Matt Schaub for the Texans, your thoughts?
I think that I believe in Gary Kubiak. I know what kind of a quarterback coach he is, and I've seen the quarterbacks he's coached. And I think that Matt Leinart is a perfect fit-in for the injured Schaub. They've got a great offensive unit out there. They've got a good running game, a great defense. And I think that Leinart's going to do a good job. He's a good backup quarterback. He's a solid quarterback, and this is a second chance for him. And this is what, you know, quarterbacks live for, the opportunity. So I'm sure he's going to do well.
You certainly would know with your pedigree. We have to ask you, you're known as the tough guy. You had so many injuries. How did you play through so many injuries? You had broken ribs, a punctured lung, and only missed, what, 5 games?
A lot of Novocaine. But, you know, it wasn't really being tough. It was afraid of losing your job. When you're a player out there, you have to be on the field, produce, and keep your job. And that was a good instance in Oakland when I broke my leg. Jim Plunkett took over, took the team to the Super Bowl, and I never got a job after that. So it's a very difficult thing as a player, but you know, you just want to play and want to be part of the team.
And you wore the flak jacket when you had the crushed ribs or bruised ribs or cracked ribs, and now it's standard issue for all quarterbacks.
It is. You know, it's funny that that protector did such a great job on me with broken ribs. And the other thing is, you know, the catch you keep showing there with Mike Renfro, that brought in instant replay into the game. So
you kind of changed football, Dan Pastor.
Well, I was part of it. You know, the whole league back when I played changed football. But then look at this.
Come on,
what
that
a great catch.
Had both feet in bounds and it did have possession.
Would have tied the game. I don't know if it would have won the game, but it certainly changed our momentum at that time. But
and you guys
could have
gone to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, we could have. Well, both those years, unfortunately, we had to go through Pittsburgh, and that's a difficult place to win.
What made you ask for the trade to the West Coast?
It was a contract dispute with Bud Adams. I needed some extra money. I had certain money deferred, and I wanted to alter the contract so I could get some deferred money up front so I could take care of my parents. And he kind of refused to do that, and that caused a little problem with me. And, you know, Bum and I had a talk, and I wanted to be traded right away. And he said, look, he said, just play this year. And he said, if you still feel the same way, then I'll trade you anywhere you want to go. So it was kind of a deal between friends. And then, unfortunately, he asked me that on the plane ride back after that loss. And he asked me, do you still want to be traded? He said, you did everything I asked you to do this year. And I said, yeah, maybe it's best for everybody. And those are the words I regret the most.
And in Los Angeles, or in Oakland, I'm sorry, you got to really know Al Davis, who just recently died.
Yeah, Al's not one of my favorite people. You know, it's covered very succinctly in the book. You know, he kind of ruined my life toward the end there, and it was a very tough pill to swallow.
And you had some bad memories about Houston at the time when you left. But how do you feel about Houston now?
You know, it was my immaturity. I love Houston. I mean, that's why I've lived here most of my career. And, you know, coming back was a good thing. You know, I just always gravitated back. The more I left Houston, the more I gravitated back. But the people here have been great to me over my 40 years here. And, you know, I'm blessed to be in this town and be a part of this town and pull for the Texans.
Well, you now have a spice business.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about that, but I think that's covered in your book, too. We've got to talk about this book. What are readers going to find in here?
Well, they're going to find the truth. They're going to find that, you know, it wasn't a cake ride. It wasn't all about, you know, fame and enjoying life. I did enjoy life, but there were some setbacks. There were some trust issues. There were some family issues. You know, there was a very long period without my daughter, which was very hurtful. The book is dedicated to my daughter, and she and I are healed up.
That's great.
Which is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of fun stuff in here, too.
There's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of heartache in there, and there's a lot of fact.
You said it was cathartic to write this book.
It was. It was very cleansing. And John did a good job taking through the roller coaster ride, standing outside the old football field, the old practice facility, and looking at it now as a parking lot that's covered over with a bunch of weeds, and kind of symbolic of your life. When the fame fades, the weeds grow.
John Lopez, who helped you write this book.
John Lopez did a great job, yes.
Dan Pastorini for us. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
Best
so nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for the memories.
Thank you.
As somebody said.
Yeah. There's still much more ahead here on KHOU 11 News this morning.
Wild storms across the southeast, sending a flurry of reported tornadoes through at least 5 states, plus officers move in on the man accused of trying to shoot up the White House, how they tracked him down, and his ties to Texas. And People magazine gets some backlash. Why so many people are mad about their choice for sexiest man alive. It was not Dan Pastorini. Don't
Share your opinions on your favorite sports teams. Like KHOU 11 Sports on Facebook.
Well, it's time for new traditions, and we'll start more rivalries and make a name out of ourselves.
Could it be moving day for the Astros? We'll talk about the deal that would put them in the American League.
Your time is up. That's what Dallas police officers are saying to the hundreds who are occupying city property.
And the sexiest man alive, not him, by People magazine. No offense to him, but it wasn't him. But People, they put up the wrong guy. Well, maybe someday he could be the sexiest man alive by People magazine. Anyway, People magazine is getting some flack for that. We'll talk about that story in just a few minutes.
And you're still reading the book.
I'm poking through it. I just fell upon an interesting quote. This kind of sums it all up.
Dan
Pastorini's This is Pastorini's book. Dan was just here talking about his book. This is an interesting read. There's a lot of pain in this book. We played the Steelers 2 and 3 times a year. Those were the championships games. We were the 2 best teams in the NFL, but the Oilers, we had nothing to show for it.
Okay.
Man, that is the truth too.
Yeah. All right,
It'd be
don't
nice
bring
to
back
have
the bad memories.
A couple of Super Bowl rings for him, I wish. All
Let's
right,
talk
good morning.
about good things now.
It's cool and delightful outside. Let's look around. Weatherbug. 54 degrees in the Woodlands. North breeze at 4. Look at the sunrise in Katy, gorgeous. 55, north at 12. Some low clouds hanging overhead. It's a beautiful one. That north wind at 12 is what's making it feel so chilly out there. You know, 50s are not bad, but north wind at 21 in Galveston, 54 at Moody Gardens.
That's chilly.
Beautiful morning, but yeah, you need to put a coat and or a sweater on the kiddos at the bus stop. There's Reliant Stadium in the shadow of the Astrodome. Speaking of the Oilers. I thought I'd show that this morning.
Speaking of the Oilers.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's all connected.
Lifting us up right there.
Uplifting. So we got the weekend forecast. I'll tell you when the next storm system's going to get here too in a minute or two.
All right, thank you.
Catherine, how are the roads?
Hopefully much better than that.
Yeah, looking pretty good right now. Everybody looking forward to the weekend, to a big sports weekend as well with the Dynamo. So lots going on. Before we get to that, of course, you have to get through your morning commute. And currently, no major problems just yet. We do have an accident on the north side of town, I-45, the North Freeway at Rankin Road. So let's show you that on our TransStar cameras. Traffic here able to move around that accident. You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen. Those are the northbound lanes. So headed out towards Spring and the Woodlands, you will notice that there. Southbound lanes, no accidents there, but traffic is starting to slow as you approach the North Beltway. Coming up in a few minutes, we will take another look at this accident, bring you alternates if needed, and also update your travel times.
All right, thank you. 6:35 is the time, and in just a few hours, Major League Baseball managers will vote on a deal to sell the Houston Astros to businessman Jim Crane. And with that ownership swap comes the switch from the National League to the American. KHOU 11 News reporter Alex Sands is live from Minute Maid Park to explain all the details. Alex, good morning again.
Christine, good morning to you as well. You know, so much conversation about this here in downtown Houston. The fans looking forward to what's next with the team. What's going to happen here at Minute Maid Park? Will there be a winning season? Yeah, a lot of people are hoping for that this morning. Sources close to these negotiations say this could happen, as we said, as early as today in Milwaukee at that owners meeting, and it should sail through when it's all said and done. No one's saying how much this deal is for, but it is looking like Houston businessman Jim Crane has agreed to move the team to the American League in exchange for a reduced price. What this does is put the team, the Houston Astros, in the same division as the Texas Rangers.
It's time for new traditions, and we'll start more rivalries and make a name out of ourselves.
It's going to be exciting, and especially Dallas and Houston, 2 great cities, big cities. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, a lot of people are. There is a sense that this may be the time to finally balance these leagues out. Folks here, the fans, they just want a winning season. That is the latest live in downtown Houston this morning. Alex Sands, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Alex. More than 1 year after the investigation began, 3 of the teenage boys accused of gang raping an 11-year-old girl have now pleaded guilty, but there are still 17 other suspects waiting for their turn in court. Prosecutors say the attacks happened on 4 separate occasions over a 3-month period in Cleveland last year. Now, for the first time, that girl's mother is revealing her identity and speaking only to KHOU 11 News. Of the 6 boys and 14 men charged in the case, 3 of the boys have entered guilty pleas, but despite the knowledge that some of those charged will be punished, the girl's mother, Maria, isn't exactly pleased with the situation.
My thoughts are, they did it, it's good. Whatever they get, I'm okay with it. Because I don't care how old you are, you shouldn't lay a hand on anyone.
Doesn't matter the age.
Doesn't matter the age.
After the charges came down, Child Protective Services moved Maria's daughter into a foster home. For now, Maria is allowed supervised visits with her daughter twice a week. Her daughter may be allowed to return when the legal proceedings around this case wrap up.
Remember that storm system that swept through Houston on Tuesday? Well, even though it caused a small tornado, it looks like we got the best of that. Some rain, not much damage, because that's definitely a different case to the south. That's because the system moved across the south, produced several possible tornadoes, which killed at least 4 people. In North Georgia, 1 person was killed when a tree fell on a sport utility vehicle during the storm. And in South Carolina, an apparent tornado swept through a remote community near Rock Hill, about 20 miles south of Charlotte. Suspected tornadoes were also spotted in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And this morning, thousands of people are still without power. We were very fortunate that we didn't get hit harder.
Yeah, we're very fortunate this morning. Nice and cool out there.
David's watching that. Kiddos need to bundle up, huh?
Yeah, sweater and jacket for the kiddos. And as we've been mentioning, it's not bitter cold out there. We're in the 50s, but we've got this north wind that every now and then is gusting to 20. So sweater and jacket for sure. Outside Reliance Stadium, there's the dome. 53 degrees. It's a beautiful dawn in Houston right now. It's going to be a beautiful day today. These are current temps. Katy, good morning. You're at 55. Sugar Land is 54. Woodlands 53. Liberty and Anahuac and Livingston have dropped into the 40s this morning. Aldine, you're at 53. Good morning. Heights 52. Cloverleaf's 52. Gulfcrest 54. Pasadena's 50. Clear Lake at 54. It is turning into a bit of a cold morning out there, mid-low 50s with that north wind. There it is. Colder air coming in with Canadian high pressure. It's 21 in Amarillo. Dallas is 38. There we are at 54 in Houston. So we really have not gotten into the really cold stuff. And actually, the really bitter cold stuff will not hit us this time. With this blob of cold air, it's going to go more east than anything else. It won't come to Houston. But we will have our coldest night of this week tonight. We'll be in the 40s and upper 30s tonight. Arctic air is massing in the Klondike and Alaska, 42 below up there in northern Alaska. That's ridiculous. But this bitter cold air, if we're going to get an Arctic outbreak here, it starts here in Alaska. That's why I watch it. And the computers are hinting that as we go into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, after Thanksgiving, that could be when we get a taste of Arctic air. Winds will settle down this afternoon to below 10 miles an hour by 5 o'clock. It'll be a beautiful afternoon, sunny, and then getting cold overnight. 54 out there now with the wind. 67 and sunny is the forecast for this afternoon. Beautiful Thursday. Friday starts cold, ends up mild, 71. Warming into the weekend. Rain chances pick up going into Tuesday in particular of next week. Kat, traffic, how are we doing?
Traffic right now a little bit slow on the north side, David. We had an accident over here, I-45 at Rankin in the northbound lanes. This one actually cleared. However, we do have heavier traffic both northbound and southbound near the Greens Point area. Let's show you that in our Houston TransStar cameras. Give you a live image over here on the roadways. As you can see, traffic is once again moving, including the HOV after the accident cleared. However, it is still a little bit slow there around the Greens Point area. Back out to the maps, a couple of areas where we have closures today. Over just west of downtown, actually over off of 59, the Southwest Freeway, we have a lane closed between Kirby and Audley. That's going to be closed between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. today. So watch out for the construction cones in that area. Drive times right now slow on 290 from Brucker Cypress to Loop 610. Your drive time right now is 28 minutes. And on 249 coming out of Tomball from Spring Cypress to the Beltway, 9 minutes for your drive time in that spot. Also a little bit sluggish there on 288 between the Beltway and downtown, 19 minutes for your drive time coming out of Pearland. Coming up in a few minutes, Ron and Christine will check on those live cameras, let you know if we spot any problems out there.
Thank you. Today, Houston Dynamo players will head to California to play in the MLS championship match. No pressure.
Hey, no pressure, and fans are hoping they come back with another MLS Cup. The city and the team held a big pep rally outside City Hall yesterday. Were you there? The Dynamo will take on David Beckham and the LA Galaxy on Sunday night. Game time is set for 8 o'clock. It'll be the Dynamo's third appearance in the MLS Cup final in 6 years. And of course, you know, we won the MLS Cup 2 years in a row. This could be our third one. Let's hope.
I'm saying they're calling us underdogs. I don't think we are.
Well, I like the underdog rule because that way you just, you know, take them down.
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
All right, trouble on the campaign trail. What Republican presidential candidates Herman Cain and Newt Gingrich did that gave them some unwanted attention.
And the really important stuff, the backlash over this week's People magazine cover.
You know, you got to stop the complaining.
That's the important stuff.
You got to stop complaining. All right, the Daily Deals. Christine Haas, KHOU. That's my Facebook page. Go to that, hit like, and you'll have instant access to some of the coupons I found for local restaurants and some Black Friday deals, too.
Live HD Doppler wherever you are, whenever you need it. Download the KHOU 11 app today.
All right, chilly, breezy morning, and ragweed is medium. Grass is medium. Mold spore count is low.
And some sluggish traffic on the roadways. A live look at 290, the Northwest Freeway. Inbound lanes at Little York are slowing down. That left-hand lane is at a standstill. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll update you with travel times.
Thank you so much. The time is now 6:45. A man is shot and killed outside a grocery store, and police are still searching for the suspects. That shooting happened outside a Food Town grocery store on Old Galveston, El Dorado. KHOU 11 News reporter Lee Ferlisi is live at the scene to explain what happened here. Lee.
Ron, it's a tough morning for a lot of these employees at Food Town. Some of them are just coming in and finding out that one of their own was killed last night. This worker worked in produce. He had just finished his shift. He had clocked out. He was coming to his car when authorities believe he might have confronted someone who might have been tampering with his car. The outcome turned this parking lot into a crime scene. Police say that the man was shot multiple times and killed. We were on scene last night. Family members were here, absolutely devastated. Police didn't have a lot of information about the suspects. They're hoping that security cameras in the parking lot might have captured just what happened, give them a better idea of who may have been involved. Witnesses did tell police that they saw the suspects take off in a red car. This Food Town is normally a 24-hour grocery store. It's been closed. We were told earlier it should have opened at around 6 a.m. Now we're being told by managers that they don't know when it's going to open. We are live in Southeast Houston. Lee Ferlisi, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Lee, thank you. A man suspected of shooting at the White House will make his first appearance in federal court today. The Secret Service found 2 bullets had hit the first family's home last Friday. Police arrested Oscar Ramiro Ortega Hernandez in Pennsylvania after getting a tip from someone who saw and identified him. Family and friends say Ortega Hernandez is obsessed with the president and the White House. A businessman who recently met the suspect says he compared the president to the Antichrist.
He seemed very sincere in what he believed, but he did seem very, rather troubled.
Authorities are looking into his mental health state right now. They say there are signs Ortega Hernandez believed the alleged attack was a personal mission from God. He has faced charges before in several states, including Texas. They range from drug and alcohol convictions to resisting arrest. Now, the president was not in the state at the time of the shooting.
Occupy Dallas protesters are having to regroup after being evicted from the park where they've been camping for several weeks. The city gave them notice last night that it is now enforcing a law that no one can be in city parks between midnight and 5 a.m. Dallas officers told the protesters at midnight to start picking up their belongings. Fortunately, the eviction was more peaceful than it's been in other cities. Only about a dozen people were arrested.
To politics and the campaign trail now, Republican presidential candidate Newt Gingrich is having to answer some tough questions about his working relationship with mortgage giant Freddie Mac. A former official from the federally backed housing agency says Gingrich was paid at least $1.5 million for consulting work over the course of nearly a decade. The former House Speaker says he merely provided strategic advice and was not a lobbyist for Freddie Mac. Fellow presidential hopeful Herman Cain had another rough day on the campaign trail. While at a stop at a Miami restaurant, Cain asked, "How do you say delicious in Cuban?" However, Cubans speak Spanish. He also misspoke for saying Republicans took back control of the House in 2008. That really happened in 2010.
In politics and diplomacy, you should always expect the unexpected. Did you see that? On Saturday, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was at a photo op when a man with a torch and barely any clothing on ran behind her. There he is again. Okay, zoomed in a little too close for comfort. It turns out it wasn't a streaker, but actually a performer in the middle of a traditional Hawaiian ritual. Oh, and by the way, he did have security clearance to run by the secretary with his flames and barely any clothing on. Well, the brains behind The Office will be back hosting the Golden Globes. British funny man Ricky Gervais will host the event for the 3rd year in a row. Now, Gervais's comments during his previous hosting gig raised some eyebrows. He was picking on some people. Some people thought he was mean. I thought he was funny. Well, this year, the ceremony will be airing on Sunday, January 15th. He is a funny guy, sometimes kind of mean, but really kind of funny.
Yeah, we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one, because I thought he was mean.
Yeah.
Did you laugh at it?
I did laugh a little bit.
You did. All right. We'll have to wait for January's show. It's a top story trending on Twitter this morning. Bradley Cooper, people's sexiest man alive.
He was in The Hangover. He starred in a hit TV show, Alias, and hit movies like The Wedding Crashers. Plus, he's dated Renee Zellweger and even rumored to be seeing J-Lo.
But not everybody's happy about this one. Thousands of people taking to social media sites saying people got it wrong. So if they're looking for another option, we have some suggestions. Here are 2 options we like.
Oh.
Ron Trevino.
How about that?
Uh-huh.
You guys did that, really?
I thought your head was big enough, but, let's make it bigger. No,
yeah. They should have had the fold out just for my head, right?
No. I just meant it. So go to your head. You're going to be walking around saying, whew, I'm hot.
Yeah, well, that's obviously just a fantasy cover. I was never in the running. Oh, but that
David
guy
Paul.
was. He was.
Now, that picture is a little older, I think, of David. That was in his 1999 stage,
No, I think that was probably recent, but maybe Photoshopped. What do you think?
Are you saying he needed
Oh,
photoshopping?
no, but I think I do.
Oh,
Enough of that silliness.
Both of our handsome KHOU 11 News This Morning anchors.
Flattery will get you everywhere. A new Great Day Houston kicks off at 9 o'clock this morning.
Here's Deborah Duncan with a look at what's in store.
Good morning, guys. Looking to fill your holiday calendar with some family fun? Yeah! All right, then. From Tom the Turkey to Santa and his reindeer, we're giving you a preview of this year's HEB Holiday Parade. And once we kick off the holiday season, why not head to Galveston? We'll check in with our friends at Moody Gardens to give you this year's lineup of festivities there, including the Festival of Lights. All that and a whole lot more is coming up this morning at 9 a.m. right here on Great Day. Back to you in the studio.
All right, we'll see it then.
We're taking a break. Don't go away.
Be the first to know when big news breaks. Follow KHOU 11 News on Twitter.
Welcome back. Traffic around town right now a little bit slow in some areas. First of all, we have a major slowdown over here near Hobby Airport. Speeds here down to about 20 miles an hour. Even a little bit slower than that as you head northbound toward the 610 South Loop. And we have a live Houston TransStar camera image to show you exactly what conditions look like out there. Here we are at College and Airport. TransStar providing us with this live camera image. You can see plenty of brake lights out there, so it is a sluggish commute if you are coming in from Clear Lake or Galveston. I would use the HOV lane if you can. The outbound lanes, though, are moving freely at posted speeds. Back out to the maps, a couple of closures around town today. This one is just west of downtown. I-10 eastbound and westbound frontage roads at Taylor. Alternate lanes are closed from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, and we'll do it again tomorrow as well. Also on the Southwest Freeway, one lane is closed from 9 this morning until 3 in the afternoon between Kirby and Audley. That's in the southbound direction, so watch out for construction workers in that area. Current speeds and drive times on 290 from Barker Cypress to Loop 610, you're at 35 minutes. And driving out of Tomball from Spring Cypress to the Beltway, your current drive time right now is 13 minutes. So pretty slow coming in from the northwest side. David Paul, how does the weather look out there? It feels a little chilly this morning.
It has turned into a chilly morning out here. Take a look. Alden's at 53, Heights 52, Brentwood's 51, Ailey 54, Cloverleaf is 52, Pasadena's dropped down to 50, and we've got a north wind out there that's gusting to 20. Beautiful morning. I mean, look at all these shots live in the Woodlands. 51 degrees now in the Woodlands. Beautiful morning, but it's cold out there now. Well, low 50s. It's not cold, but it's chilly. Katy, 55 with that north wind at 14. There comes the sun just creeping over the horizon. What a gorgeous morning. All right, it's high pressure coming in with that wind. Colder temperatures moving in behind it. So here we go, out the door in the 50s with the north breeze out there, gusting to 20 at times. So jackets and sweaters for kids. 67 is a high temp today. Beautiful afternoon. Here's your extended. Tomorrow morning will be the coldest of the bunch this week. Low near 40 for Houston, upper 30s northern counties. We'll rebound to 71 Friday afternoon. By Saturday and Sunday, high temps pressing back toward 80. There's a slight rain chance Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday's a better rain chance as our next front comes in. All right, back to you guys, Christine, Ron.
If you insist, David Paul. It's been a fun morning. We had Dan Pastrini on talking about his new book.
He was so real. You know, I just got so much from him, and it sounds like that book itself is just going to have a lot of emotion.
Goes on sale today. Thank you so much, Dan, for the memories. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at noon.
We'll see you back here at 7:25.